Hey guys, it's Glitchin, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck list video. Today we will be doing Vendreads. Vendreads is a zombie ritual deck focusing on getting their non-ritual monsters onto the field, and then ritual summoning their ritual monsters, using those monsters in order to give them extra effects. But it'll be easier for me to just show you. So let's get right into it. Start off with one Vendread Core. Vendread Core, while in the graveyard, allows you to banish a different zombie monster from the grave in order to special summon it. If used for a ritual summon, it gives the ritual monster the following effect. This card cannot be targeted by card effects. Both of these effects are really good. Special summoning it is an extra free body on field for extra deck and ritual plays. Also, its inherited effect it gives to ritual monsters is very good, making them untargetable. Since a lot of effects target, this can lock your opponent out of doing a lot of stuff to your monster. You also have one Vendread Anima. Anima, as opposed to most of the other non-ritual monsters, banishes itself from the grave in order to special summon a banished Vendread monster. And the inherited effect it gives to ritual monsters is any card destroyed by battle with this card is banished instead. Both of these effects are kind of meh, but it's an extra combo piece and it's a Vendread, so I'll throw it in. Next we have two Vendread Surges. Surges is the easiest to summon out. When it is sent to grave, you can reveal a Vendread card in your hand in order to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, the inherited effect it gives to ritual monster is, after damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can draw one card and discard one card. Being a basically free special summon is pretty good, and the free cycling provided by a draw one, discard one is also pretty alright, so we'll throw it in. Next we have one Vendread Hound Horde. Hound Horde, when sent to grave, allows you to discard one Vendread card in order to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, the inherited effect it gives to a ritual monster is quick effect, target one spell trap your opponent controls, and then banish it. Both of these effects are pretty good. As I mentioned before, free bodies on field for ritual summons, pretty good, and a banish of a spell trap is the second best effect that one of these monsters can give. Next we have two Vendread Revenants. Revenants, while in the graveyard and a Vendread monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon it. Also, the inherited effect it gives to a ritual monster is quick effect, target one monster your opponent controls and banish it. Its special summon effect is the worst of all the Vendreads, but its inherited effect is the best of all of them. So it's a trade-off. But if you can get this out on field, you definitely want to be using it for ritual plays. Next we have two Scar of the Vendread. Scar of the Vendread, when sent to grave, allows you to add any Vendread spell trap from deck to hand. Also, while it's in the graveyard and a monster on field is distributed, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard in order to special summon it. But then, while it's on the field, you are locked into Vendread cards. This card is very good support for the deck since it is consistency, since you can usually send to the graveyard at a reasonably common occurrence. Also, it allows you to special summon it, giving you free material for some extra deck or ritual plays, provided they are Vendreads, since you are locked into Vendreads while using it. For our ritual monsters, we run three Vendread Slayer. Vendread Slayer, during damage calculation, allows you to banish one zombie monster from graveyard in order to permanently increase this card's attack by 300 points. And if it is sent to grave, it allows you to send one Vendread ritual monster from deck to grave, and then add a Vendread ritual spell from deck to hand. Its effect of gaining attack is not great, but when sent to grave effect is very good, since it allows us to combo even further. Usually you just want to be special summoning this out and sending it to the grave in order to further your combos. But giving it extra effects with your non-ritual Vendreads could make it a serviceable boss monster. Next we have one Vendread Battlelord. Battlelord allows you to banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, then call monster spells or traps, and your opponent is locked out of that card type for the rest of the turn. This is very good at getting around hand traps, because your opponent is forced to hand trap this card, or hold their hand traps until they can next use them. Also, when sent to grave, it allows you to add a ritual monster from deck to hand, then send one Vendread monster from deck to grave. This is a pretty good middle combo piece for baiting out hand traps and protecting your board. Next we have one Vendread Executor. Vendread Executor's name becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field, and while on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects except this card. Both of those effects are pretty good, and if it is destroyed by card effect or battle, you are allowed to add any Vendread card from deck to hand. This, on its own, is a pretty good boss monster, making everything else untargetable. But combining it with your other non-ritual Vendreads, you can make this a very good card for the cost of summoning it. Next, we have Vendread Scavenger. Vendread Scavenger allows you to, during the main phase, quick effect, tribute one zombie monster you control in order to increase this card's attack points by the tributed card's attack points. Also, if Vendread Slayer is on the field, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So, provided you properly summon it first, that's a free body on the field. This makes it a pretty good body in order to tribute off for ritual plays or go into some extra deck monsters. Next, we have our generic cards. We'll start off with perhaps the best zombie monster ever printed, Unizombie. Unizombie is a tuner, and it allows you to send a zombie monster from deck to grave in order to increase any monster on the field's level by 1. Also, you can discard 1 card and increase a monster's level by 1. Both of these effects are very good. The send from grave effect is basically a foolish burial, and it can modulate your levels, making synchro plays and ritual plays easier. We also play 2 Shiranui Solitaire. Shiranui Solitaire allows you to tribute it in order to summon a zombie tuner with 0 defense points. The rest of its effects do not matter. This is our 4th and 5th copy of Unizombie, since Unizombie has 0 defense points and is a tuner. Next, we play 1 Mizuki. Mizuki allows you to banish it from the grave in order to special summon a zombie from your grave. Since all of our monsters are zombies, this is a very good effect. And foolish barreling it off of Unizombie allows you to get a free special summon. Next, we have 1 Owlghoul Mazera. When one of your zombie monsters would be destroyed, you can banish this from hand or grave instead. And if it is banished from hand or grave, you can special summon it. And if you do, you can reduce its level by 1. Notice 2 things. You can reduce its level, so you can make it a 8 or a 7. This could be important for synchro or ritual plays, and it doesn't have to be banished off of its own effect. So if you banish it off of one of your Vendreads, you can special summon it out for free. Next, we play 3 Effect Veiler. This can really be any hand trap you want. Could be a Blossom, could be a Veiler, could be Droll, could be Imperm, but I just run Veiler in most of my decks because it's a cheap hand trap to just slide in there. We play 3 Vendread Origin. Vendread Origin allows you to ritual summon a Vendread from hand or grave by tributing monsters from hand, field, or banishing zombie monsters from the grave. Also, if a Vendread Slayer you control would be destroyed, you can banish this from your graveyard instead. All of these effects are very good. Being able to ritual summon from the grave, very good. A lot of ritual decks would kill to have that kind of effect. Also, being able to banish material from grave, also very good. Since this is a zombie deck, we're putting a lot of monsters into the grave, and it's nice to get a little bit more use out of them after their graveyard effects have been used. Also, protecting Vendread Slayer is very good, since a few of our monsters count as Vendread Slayer. Next, we have 2 Ravenous Vendread. Ravenous Vendread allows you to special summon a Vendread monster from your deck in face-down defense position, and then ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster from hand or grave by using monsters you control as ritual material. This effect is very good. Specialing out anything from the deck would be good in any deck, but especially ours, since we really need our materials to be on the field when we are ritual summoning. We play 2 Vendread Evolution. Vendread Evolution allows you to ritual summon any Vendread ritual monster by using monsters from hand or field, and or sending 1 Vendread ritual monster from your deck to the graveyard. But they have to exactly match the level of the ritual monster. So you can't use 7 stars worth of material to summon a 6-star ritual monster. Also, the ritual monster summoned is destroyed during the next end phase after this turn. This card is pretty good for starting our combos, but not so much ending them. Foolish barreling anything from deck in order to summon a Vendread ritual monster is very good, since it sets up our graveyard and gives us a free body on field. But out of all of the Vendread ritual spells, I'd probably say this one is the worst. We play 3 Vendread Charge. Vendread Charge allows you to send 1 zombie monster from hand or field to the grave in order to special summon a Vendread monster from your deck. This card is very good since we really love having our ritual materials on the field when we are ritual summoning. And this can help us achieve that. We play 3 Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites allows you to add 1 ritual spell to your hand and 1 ritual monster mentioned in that ritual spell. Vendread Origin mentions Vendread Slayer in its protection effect, and Ravenous Vendread mentions Vendread Scavenger in the restriction that you are not allowed to summon it. So we can search this or this, our 2 best ritual spells in the deck. We play 1 Vendread Reorigin. Reorigin allows you to target a monster your opponent controls with a level, tribute, and then summon a token with the same level. This card is very good because it gets around protection effects that protect against destruction. But while you control a token, you cannot normal or special summon monsters except for Vendread monsters. Which, this is a Vendread deck, that restriction doesn't really apply, but don't forget about it. For the extra deck, we play 2 of Vendread Savior. A Vendread Savior, while on the field, is treated as Vendread Slayer. It has an effect where you can add a Vendread card from your graveyard back to your hand, and during damage calculation, you can send a zombie monster from deck to grave in order to reduce your opponent's monster that this card is battling attack points by 200 times its level. Adding anything from grave to hand, very good. Sending anything from deck to grave, very good. A very good link 2 that kind of carries our deck. We play 1 Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker has the effect that you can tribute zombie monsters your opponent controls for a tribute summon of a zombie monster. Also, you can special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard, but it becomes a zombie. Also, if your opponent special summons a zombie monster, you can draw 1 card. All of these effects are just alright, but it is another card in our extra deck, so why not run it? We play 1 the Dark Charmer Gloomy. The Dark Charmer Gloomy allows you to target a dark monster in your opponent's graveyard and special it to your field. This is pretty good for link climbing. That is, making a link 2, summoning a monster, making a link 3. And it can just steal stuff from your opponent's graveyard, which is always fun. Play 1 Dynamondo. Dynamondo requires a ritual monster to be summoned. Also, on summon allows you to target 1 card on the field and 1 ritual monster in your graveyard and shuffle both of them into the deck. And you can quick effect tribute this card during your opponent's turn in order to special summon a ritual monster from your graveyard. Both of these effects are pretty good, and since it requires a ritual monster, I'm inclined to run it in a ritual deck. Play 1 Vampire Fascinator. Vampire Fascinator, on link summon, allows you to special summon 1 card from your opponent's graveyard, but you cannot summon for the rest of the turn except zombie monsters. Also, you can tribute 1 zombie monster you control in order to take control of 1 of your opponent's monsters. Both of these effects are pretty good on a link 3. So we'll run it since Snatch stealing 1 of our opponent's monsters, pretty good. Stealing from the grave, pretty good. Both on 1 monster, very good. We play 1 Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. This can really be any link 4 payoff you're feeling, but Crusadia Avermax cannot be targeted by card effects. If it battles a special summon monster, it gains attack points equal to that monster's attack points. And if it is sent to grave by your opponent's card, allows you to target 1 card on the field and shuffle it back into the deck. All pretty good effects that you can just sit on if it's a more casual match. For these synchros, which I'm compelled to run since Unizombie is a tuner, we'll start off with level 6 Immortal Dragon. Immortal Dragon on Synchro Summon allows you to send a zombie monster from your deck to the grave, and then its level becomes the difference between its own level and the sent monster's level. And if it is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. The Foolish Burial from deck, very good. So, sometimes it's just worth it to go into a level 6 Synchro if you just really need to put 1 material into the grave. So I have 1 Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. It gains 100 attack for every zombie monster in the grave, and if a zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a zombie monster from either graveyard. This is really good in a zombie mirror match, or if your build would be running Zombie World. But 100 extra attack, it can get over some things if you really load up your graveyard, so I just usually use it as a big beater. Next, we have 1 Shiranui Shogun Saga. Shinogi Shogun Saga on summon allows you to banish one zombie monster from your graveyard in order to give it attack points equal to the banished monsters. And if it is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one banished zombie tuner with 0 defense and put it back in your graveyard. Since Unizombie is a zombie tuner with 0 defense, you can put that back into your graveyard if this monster is destroyed, which can come up into some fringe cases. Next, we have Vendread's Zombie Dragon Lord as our level 10. During your opponent's turn, allows you to quick effect special summon a zombie monster from your graveyard. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard in order to special summon it. Both of those effects are really good, both for getting materials out during your opponent's turn, and you can send this to your grave, then banish something to bring it back for even more material. And of course, we have the classic level 10 synchro, Baronne de Fleur. Baronne de Fleur allows you to once per turn destroy one card on the field, and once while face up on the field, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate that effect. And during the standby phase, you can return it to the extra deck in order to summon a level 9 or lower monster from your graveyard. Alright, let's get into some test hands. It's actually kind of a big brain deck, even you wouldn't think about it, because there's so many things you can put into the grave and so many grave effects to trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a pretty good hand. We will normal Unizombie. Unizombie effect. Send probably Scar. Scar adds us a copy of Ravenous, probably. That's probably our best play here. Ravenous. We will then activate pre-prep in order to search our copy of Slayer plus Origin. Origin. So there are 4 right now. I might as well make them a 5, so I'll discard Mizuki. We can use that for follow-up later. Let's Vendread charge off this guy in order to get our copy of Revenants. And I'll activate a copy of Ravenous. To special, I need to get to level 6 in order to summon him. So it could go Sturges, but I think I'll go Hound Horde here. Special Hound Horde, then Ritual Summon. Now this doesn't really look like much, but that's okay, because Slayer is a quick effect banish of a spell trap and a monster. So this is actually not as bad as you would think. Oh, and also we can special summon Scar of the Vendread for another body on the board. All right. Also, feel free to criticize me for any combo that I do incorrectly. Like one of the rejected takes, I accidentally normal summoned twice. So, all right. Battle Lord, Origin, Charge, or Reorigin, I should specify. Origin, Slayer. I think we go Origin, tribute off the Battle Lord for Slayer. Charge, sending the Slayer. In order to special a copy of Revenants. Slayer effect will send a copy of Executor. And also add us a copy of Ravenous, I want to say. Do we have another 4 target? We could go... I think we could get us a little bit more advantage if we went Evolution. Can this... Yes, okay. Alright. Add Evolution. Rare Evolution. Add to the hand. Evolution effect. I said that because we usually don't add this to hand. But we can send Scar in order to special back our copy of Slayer from grave. Scar will trigger, adding us a Vendread spell trap. I'll go Ravenous. Do we need Ravenous? It would be better to grab Origin right here, actually. Origin, tribute both these, I want to say. Get back our Executor. Scar triggers in grave, allowing us to banish one zombie from grave in order to special summon it. Since a monster on field is distributed, and we can set our Reorigin. So this makes everything else untargetable, and since it has Revenants as a ritual material, it can quick effect banish one monster your opponent controls. Very good effects. Well, I hope you liked this video. I'll be doing some more. I'll try to upload on a more consistent schedule. This one is going out quite a bit after the last one because I've just been procrastinating. But if you like it, leave a like, subscribe, whatever. But I really appreciate it. So, bye-bye.